Hey, everybody. For the last 6 months or so, I've been taking all of my notes that I have and writings that go back 35 years. What I have here, anyways, at this location, I have some somewhere in storage still. I'm hoping to get for this purpose as well, but I'm putting it together and I'm creating an aggregate of how I've gone through the last 10 years or so. And what I used to do is I would write messages on my mirror, and then I would write them before I go to bed, or I would write them when I wake up, and that way I would see them throughout the day if I came into the bathroom, that kind of thing. And so it's the name of the book I'm hoping to put out is called Letters to the Mirror, and it's a quest for understanding, not a quest, but an attempt to understand um, what happened, how I started to get into my disability and that whole process and how it affected me mentally and everything else until today, where hopefully I'm on a track that maybe I can control my disability. I've got the help that I need, and maybe I can transition out of it. I'm not sure, but it's a process, and so I've isolated five different components of that process, and I thought I would take the writings that I did on struggle and put them in one of those deep dives that I do, summaries that you see pop up occasionally for books and that sort of thing, and let everybody listen to it. The book is quite a ways really from being finished, but it's in process, and I hope you'll have a listen. And if you're interested, I'll be sure to inform everybody when it's up on Amazon. Won't be too much longer, I hope. Cheers.
Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at a collection of reflections today called Letters to the Mirror.
hmm
And specifically, we're pulling out the entries focused on struggle.
Yeah, the theme of struggle.
Exactly. So, our mission here really is to deep dive into these for you. We want to unpack what these writers are saying, get those core insights out.
See what struggle really is according to these perspectives, what it means, maybe what it can show us.
Right. And the first thing that jumped out at me reading entry 11 was kind of surprising.
Oh, yeah. What was
And
that?
this idea that struggle, well, it might not just be about failing at something, it could actually be a disguise
A disguise. For what?
for resistance, but like not resistance to outside stuff, resistance to your own truth, your own path.
Ah, okay. So, like, you're trying to force something that isn't right for you deep down. And that's the struggle.
That's what the source suggests. Yeah, it's like your inner self is kind of pushing back.
Hmm. That makes sense. And they mention exhaustion, don't they? As a signal.
They do. That really deep tiredness. It might not just be, overwork.
Right. It could be the sheer effort of fighting yourself, going against your own grain.
Exactly. That fatigue is a message. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this isn't aligned. Pay attention. It's a real reframing.
It really is. From weakness to, well, information.
Information.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not always some big, loud crisis either, is it?
No, definitely not. Entry 12 talks about how subtle it can be.
How so? Like, what kind of subtle?
Well, things like your coffee just doesn't taste right anymore. Or the days just kind of blur together. Nothing feels sharp.
Huh. Those little things you'd normally just brush off.
Exactly. That quiet ache, that feeling of things being a bit dimmer. The source suggests not fighting it.
But, like, acknowledging it?
Yeah, almost like asking it what it needs. Sometimes just acknowledging it exists is the first step. It shifts things.
From fighting to understanding. Okay.
So if we're understanding it within ourselves, what about how it affects, our relationships?
Ah, yeah. Entry 13 goes there. Pretty directly, actually.
What does it say? That struggle kind of sorts people out.
Basically, yeah. It acts like a filter. It reveals who sticks around when you're vulnerable and you're kind of in pieces, as they put it.
Oof. That's a tough one.
It is. The source points out that some connections might only work when you seem strong, when you don't seem to need anything.
But the people who stay when you're not pretending, when things are hard.
Those are the ones built on something real. Struggle shows you who sees you, the actual you, not just the polished version.
Hmm. And going through that difficult process, Entry 14 talks about what it does to you, right?
Right.
Internally.
Yeah, the humbling aspect. How it can sort of strip away the ego.
The need to look perfect all the time.
Right. You end up feeling raw, maybe, but also really honest. There's no energy left for pretending.
And there's a strange kind of peace in that, isn't there? The Source mentions that.
Yeah, a liberation. Just being able to say, things are hard right now, without apology. It saves so much energy.
Mm-hmm. Which leads to maybe the most important point, I think, from entry 15, about rest.
Oh, this was huge. The idea that rest isn't something you earn.
Exactly. We're so conditioned to think, I'll rest after I finish this, or rest is my reward for being productive.
But this source says no, that's backward. Rest is a fundamental right.
Your body signals it. Your mind signals it. Through burnout, exhaustion, feeling detached.
And healing doesn't start by pushing through those signals.
No, it starts by listening, by honoring them, giving yourself permission to actually slow down, to do less, to just be.
Permission to just be, that's powerful.
So when you put it all together, struggle is resistance, the quiet signs, how it tests relationships, the humbling honesty, and this fundamental need for rest.
It paints a really complex picture, doesn't it? Letters to the Mirror shows struggle isn't just this negative thing to overcome.
It's a messenger. A complicated one, but a messenger. Offering truths, maybe?
Yeah, profound truths if we're willing to listen. So thinking about all this, here's something for you, the listener, to just kind of sit with.
Mm-hmm.
What might change for you if you started looking at your own moments of struggle? Less like failures or just bad times.
And more like messages.
Exactly. Messages or maybe even opportunities. Opportunities for finding a deeper truth or maybe for some radical honesty in your life.